All right, here we go. Back for game two.
Hello.
Known for is going to be going up against Bendover, and Bendover actually really just wrecking in game one. Known for really seemed to be struggling in that draft here. I am joined by Peanut Almighty, and looks like it's actually going to work this time. We should both be able to go over the draft.
You can hear me okay? Yeah?
Yeah, I got you. Nice. All right, so Slardar, first ban for Known for. Don't want to give that one up. They do... It is a tier 1 hero, so nothing too special about that. You know, of course, heroes like Slardar, Doom, not so much. I think Tuskar probably, even the Shadow Fiend, usually we see get banned out first, and it's going to be an Undying ban over here from Bendover. Known for. Going to get rid of the Queen of Pain.
They seem to be pretty convinced not to give Queen of Pain to the to Bendover. I noticed they did it first ban last game, so I don't know if they've got a particularly good quad player. They just don't like playing against the hero, but
maybe just don't like
it's interesting. Usually you see Shadow Fiend banned before Qualifiers.
Yeah,
we'll
especially
see if, Bendover pick him up here.
Yeah, I think Shadow Fiend Dazzle is probably the best pick here, but they're gonna go for a Wyvern instead. So a little bit odd. Tuskar Wyvern. Tusk is definitely a good first pick. Wyvern to follow up though. I don't think really have to be that greedy with it, but they will take the Wyvern anyways. And again, still SF in the pool. That Radiant SF, always so scary to go up against.
Yeah, for sure. It was so much stronger on Radiant than it is on Dire. That's why it's usually always banned on Dire. But choosing to ban the Quap over it, like I said, it seems odd to me. But they have their reasons. But Bendover actually taking their time over this one. They're not absolutely sure on what they want to go for. They might want to go for something different.
Yeah, I think they're.
I mean, he plays great with the Wyvern as well.
Yeah, I think they're a little bit unsure if they want to go for. I don't know why you wouldn't just go for the Shadow Fiend here. I can't imagine what's better. I don't think you want the Dazzle. You're probably gonna have to give that up, and they're gonna go with the Tiny. So that's a little bit odd. Not often that we see a Tiny get picked up, especially since Io can easily get banned out by the next round, and they've got a Tiny early on, which means Known for has quite a long time to help deal with that, and they're just gonna go with the Witch Doctor. So they may even grab the IO. We've got the Cask as well as the Death Ward, and we don't even care about the IO Tiny. We'll just deal with it in our own way.
Yeah, and they can maybe ban other things now if they now have the freedom to do that. But still very, very odd. The Tiny and the Witch Doctor both coming out as first tier. That's
yeah, definitely don't see that often. But I think the Witch Doctor is almost like a block pick that if you pick them up, it's a little bit scarier to pick up the Wisp. Not as bad, but maybe they'll still ban him out anyways. Witch Doctor, I do kind of like him. The thing is for Dire right now that they do have heroes that are good at contesting any stacks for the Shadow Fiend. So if they do still pick that Radiant Shadow Fiend and run the Tiny in the safe lane, which I don't think they'll do, it's probably going to be a Tiny mid lane. But if they do that, I think the Witch Doctor and the Tusk are kind of scary to go up against because they can contest those stacks really easily. And they're actually going to ban out the Dazzle here, so they're not going to give them the Dazzle either. And now the Radiant, they're even going to ban out the Viper. Kind of weird. I guess it's the hard counter to Tiny, but not really something that... And they're going to ban out the SF as well, so this is a funky draft all around.
Okay. Well, I don't know what to expect now. They could go for the Wisp, but maybe they won't. Could be anything. I'm interested to see where this one goes.
Yeah, I think if they go for the Wisp, they'll have a ton of sustain, and the Ancient Apparition hasn't been banned out either, most importantly. So I think Known for could just grab the AA. The AA Witch Doctor are a pretty scary pair. They don't have the most reliable of stuns, but when you've got a Tuskar, you can just look to pick up somebody like a Lina for the mid lane, or perhaps a Gyrocopter as well, and just like to get a ton of burst damage out, and they're going to go for a Razor, a Silencer pickup yet again.
Wow,
and a Razor. So
I'm guessing this is going to be Tiny versus Razor mid, which works pretty much in Razor's favor. But the combo is still, when you throw the Avalanche out on Razor, it doesn't trigger his unstable current. So the Tiny's got that going for him, so he can harass and stop the Razor doing much. So I think it's going to be a pretty, excuse the pun, static mid. It's going to be very much relying on the supports to come in and get the kills.
Yeah, I'd agree with that too. I think
probably no
early on, this Wyvern's probably just going to scale Arctic Burn level 1, harass the Razor out at level 1 for that so Tiny can secure his CS enough to get a bottle. And then from there, it's going to be easy for the Razor, but at least the Tiny can just use the Bottle Crow and the Avatos combo to help secure some CS of his own. And then a Phoenix right after that. So
Phoenix, I really like that.
Yeah, I do like that as well. I think the Wyvern's a pretty good pick up there. They do have 4 heroes with pretty good attack time, though. So Razor's not the best, but Witch Doctor and Tusk actually attack fairly quickly without any items really either. They don't really need too much. They do have some nice base attack times, and that could be a bit of an issue here. And the biggest thing is that they don't have too much to help keep anybody away from the Phoenix Egg. Like, you've got a Tiny to frontline, but outside of that, the Silencer and the Wyvern are going to be dancing around in the back of the fight. Nobody really has to worry too much about them, especially now that Last Word doesn't give a disarm anymore either. They don't have to worry about the Silencer disarming somebody and, you know, getting an easier egg off. The Global Silence, not all that scary as well, and known for, they could still grab something super cheeky like perhaps a Meepo. They do have a Wyvern as well as a Tiny, so it might be kind of scary, but if you've got a good Meepo player, now would definitely be the time to break it out.
Yeah. Phoenix is really good against Razor, though, and Witch Doctor as well. Just because he can throw out the Firebirds, Fire Spirits onto the Razor and stop him being able to right-click, so it doesn't matter if he steals all the damage. And of course with the Witch Doctor as well, you know, he can't move when he's doing his ulti, so you can just throw some Fire Spirits on his face and egg, and then he's pretty much dead. The Clockwork pick, I like that. Yeah, it's okay against Tiny, but I think it's more for perhaps getting the Silencer out of the fights quickly.
Yeah.
And just trying to get them pickoffs. And this seems like another quite aggressive draft from Known For. But it also seems like a much more aggressive draft from Bend Over as well. So I think it's going to be a big clash of horns. You know, it's going to be Bend Over really having to fight for that first place in these qualifiers.
Yeah, and I think the important thing here is that it's actually, now that we see the Clockwork, it's going to be a support Tuskar. So not something we see too often. Usually when he gets picked, it is for the offlane. It's certainly not bad, and it does get picked, but it's going to be interesting to see how the Tusk and the Witch Doctor start to roam around together early on and try to pressure out some of these heroes. Phoenix is going to be kind of hard to hold down because she can just kind of jump away, and they don't really have a stun that they can stop that immediately with. Maybe the Cask if you throw it out first, and an Ursa. This is ridiculous.
Ooh. What?
So the Ursa is actually a really good pick here in my opinion. I think he's a great frontliner. You can't really ignore an Ursa, right? So if you've got an egg and an Ursa coming at you, you kind of have to pick your targets, and the Clockwork doesn't really want to hook the Ursa because he's just going to get eaten alive instantly. He kind of has to choose his hooks for the Silencer and the Wyvern, but do you really want to initiate? If you initiate on the Silencer, he's probably just going to global. Then you just follow up with the egg. The Ursa's in there beating on you. The Tiny, we're probably going to have a Blink Tiny. Probably the Treads Blink Tiny. And he's just going to eat this Witch Doctor alive. Tuskar as well. Going to have a few issues. Maybe able to escape it with the Snowball. But I do like the Ursa pick, as he's really going to help this Phoenix ensure that she can get that Supernova off. And it's going to be a big issue here. Razor can steal his damage, but really, I don't think it's going to be enough.
I think if the Clockwork, he might be building 4-staff this game and going to be playing a zoning Clockwork, you know, using the cogs to bat the Ursa out of team fights. I think that'll be extremely effective in controlling him, because that's what they're going to need to do once this Ursa gets a bit of farm in him. They're going to need to be able to zone him, keep him away from the fights, and I think Tusk and Clockwork are quite good at doing that, but they're also one mistake and they just get eaten alive by him, like you said, so it's going to be very much playing with fire when it comes to trying to get these Ursas, trying to get this Ursa and keep him out of the fight. And Razor can't do much against Ursa. And Ember, so we get a farming Ember, or a mid Ember possibly. But I don't know where they're going to play him. But yeah, I will assume that he's going to be more on the back foot this time, and the Razor will be starting up these fights, and the Ember will be sort of in the back, throwing out those sleight of fists. Farming, getting them TP boots quite early, I'd imagine.
Yeah, the couple of things here that I think are going for, I really like Bendover's draft right now, is I think they do have the cogs, but since it only is up until I think level 4, I think it's 3 hits, but even then, if you're cogsing the Ursa, he's just going to chew through them with overpower, I believe it's called. Anyways, so he's got that ridiculous attack speed. He's gonna get out of the cogs fairly easily. So I don't know if they want to hook the Ursa. And then outside of that, these heroes all seem fairly tanky. So the Ember Spirit's not going to be doing that much until he's got probably the full Daedalus here. Maybe just the crit stick on top of the Battle Fury. But I think he's really going to need the full Daedalus to start outputting enough damage. And if Tiger Rock gets enough here, this is going to be... It's going to be difficult for sure. I think he'll just get that early Blink Dagger. If he's able to get a Basher or an early Abyssal altogether, just in general, this Ember Spirit's going to have the worst time ever, as he's just going to get blinked on. He's going to get absolutely blown up. He can't survive that physical damage whatsoever. I mean, nobody can really survive an Ursa, but in general, an Ember Spirit is all the much worse off. Sure, he's got the chains, but Ursa can just purge the chains off with his ultimate, and they don't really have too much to work around that.
Look, I love this silencer every single time. He's teleporting up here, he's throwing a ward up there so they can see exactly what this offlaner does and exactly where the ward go down, and then you see this here. He's just immediately dewarding it.
Yeah, that is absolutely fantastic. I agree.
Good plays there from Mr. Very Famous again. Seeing him last game on the silencer doing those crazy roam around, just, you know, on the Radiant Secret Shop and on the Dire side, and, you know, they didn't even have map control or wards around there. Just seems to be a very intuitive player.
I think Phoenix is going to go for top rune.
I might even call him MVP for last game.
No, he's going to back out. I think Phoenix is thinking about going for it.
Try something.
Might be in a little bit of trouble. Has the dive. We'll be able to use it, but actually goes down to about half HP there.
A lot of damage.
That is. He's got the Mango regen at least, so he's going to have a nice bit of bonus regen on top of those tangos, but still, that's not
Mango
really what he wanted. Mango, yeah, Mango is OP. As it looks like Wyvern is mid.
So
he's going to go for that Arctic Burn early on to help secure some of the CS here of this Tiny, as Razor looking to post up here, go for the static link. Not going to use it just yet, and yeah, it will be the Wyvern coming up here with the Arctic Burn here. So it's going to try and scare out this Razor. It is a lot of damage, and it is quite annoying, but really only going to be doing it at level 1. Maybe sticking around here to get one more off, but Arctic Burn's such a ridiculously long cooldown that I don't know if he stays around for another 40 seconds. Probably just looks to stack on top of that, as it seems that's where he's going right now. So going to get the stack off as well, and building up the stacks for this Tiny is going to be another way that he can help stay, you know, within an even laning stage up against this Razor here.
This Clockwork at bottom was literally farming the first wave under his own tower because he cogged the waves, both of them.
Really? Oh, he cogged them in the trees, yeah.
So now he's got very, very easy level 2. Yeah, he's got a level advantage over the Ursa because he had the creeps literally under his tower.
Silencer will go for the pull finally, but does he miss it? I think he just missed it there. Bit of a blunder from him, actually, so unfortunately not going to be able to stop that, but there is a stacked creep wave anyways, and looks like the Clockwork not going to go anywhere near EXP range here just yet. Maybe thinking about it now, as the Ursa actually doesn't go for the Earthshock at level 2, surprisingly enough. Nice little win rate from Ursa, about 58% win rate, not all that bad. Razor in the mid lane, going to get tossed back to this range creep. He might actually go down here. Tiny so close to getting that kill, 60 HP. Very, very close. Top rune now. Poe going up against Peglo here. It is a regen rune. Peglo will pick it up, and now Poe's got to be careful. Has very low base armor here. He needs to get out of this one, as Peglo can just right click him. He will be able to get out of that one. As Clockwork going to eat a curse, do a little bit of damage, burn a little bit of mana. It's going to be about it, though, as he's thinking about going back in towards the lane here.
Now, mid, they're sort of thinking about the Tiny. They're going to throw the shards out. But the Wyvern is there just to throw out those Arctic Burns and stop them trying anything more.
Okay, so we're getting quite aggressive here. Still sticking around. Really, really wanting some of that bottle, and you will get it. As Poe in the top lane, really struggling, though, more than anybody here. As unable to really get his levels, unable to really get anything there. Is going to just prevent that stack. Or that pull from the Witch Doctor
Oh,
here.
He's going for the pull. But the Witch Doctor's going to stop that. That was nearly very nice. It was a nice idea, but unfortunately it didn't quite work.
Almost got it, yeah. Very close. Witch Doctor standing nearby, though. Kind of knows what's going on and prevents that from happening. Toss going to be used yet again. Couple CS in the mid lane. That's the Razor now with this nice Summit Courier. Can you bring his bottle? Bot lane now. Tuskar right behind this Clockwork. And
this Clockwork is doing very, very well in this off lane. He's level 4. He hasn't really had anything to deal with. But now there's a Tusk sitting in the trees. I think he wants them to dive him. He's sort of making himself look very attractive right now, being like, oh, look at me, I'm low health. You're an Ursa. You want to eat me, don't you? And the Ursa is...
Yeah, I think
you
that's
can
what
tell
they're
he's
going
fighting
for,
hard
but
for
I don't know if they
go
can...
for it, but the,
Can they get the kill on the Ursa here,
Tusk
though?
is right there.
Ooh, a nice shards there, but it looks like he might actually die to the
actually.
curse anyways. Oh,
Yeah,
he does, and
pop.
first
He's
blood
pop.
to the
That's first
silencer.
That did not go as planned.
Not at all. That was a disaster here, and if they would have just played normally, actually Peglo gonna go down on the bot lane, another mango, but it doesn't matter.
Oh my god.
This Ursa. Just 4 minutes in, we have nothing until 2 kills,
Don't
one
poke
after
the bear.
another. Yeah, and really now with the phase boots
You
early
don't
on.
poke the bear. I think that's...
That's the lesson we get here is Clockwork now going to be so scared in this lane. Phase boots Ursa. Sure, he's got the cogs to try and keep him away, but a lot of damage here. A lot of damage now from this Ursa. And really, if they would have just left the Tuskar roaming around, maybe sitting around the mid lane and stuff like that. Tiger Rock actually going to get snowballed on. There's the cogs. Not yet, actually.
Not gonna
just the
catch
battery,
him at
so
all.
going to be it. Silencer going to deny himself to a neutral creep, I think, there. Does just spend his money, most likely. Spice TP?
So he started a little bit, but I'm not sure what he was doing there.
I think he just has his stuff on the courier. There it is.
So there's roaming Tusk, trying to get stuff done. He's going to look at mid lane now, but this Wyvern's basically just been sitting at mid. It's pretty much been a dual lane, and Razor has been responding quite well to it. Pretty much neck and neck with the last hits.
Yeah, I think the most important thing
Razor
here
haven't died once, but
is that we do have a ton of stacks over here from the Tiny, or for the Tiny, and Razor's got absolutely nothing to really accelerate his farm. So Tiny's going to have fairly early Blink Dagger thanks to these stacks. The Wyvern doing a great job of just keeping him alive, as well as helping to increase his farm here. We've got, I believe, 2 stack on the medium camp and what looks to be 4 stack on the large camp. Looks like he's going to go for a 5th as well. I don't think he got that one, though. Probably just a little bit too late. It's going to be close, actually. Oh, he does get it. That was nice. That was nice.
Exciting stuff.
Exciting
the
stuff.
Poor Phoenix.
Yeah.
Shams is pointing out. Level 1. God,
Level
that's
1.
sad.
Not even halfway to level 2, most
Zoned
importantly.
out by a dual lane. He's trying so hard just to keep pulling this lane, just trying to get anything.
Yeah.
Actually, Witch Doctor's going to drop pretty low to this hard cap. But he's level 3, and the Phoenix is level 1. He should really be going somewhere else right now. He needs to
definitely
go mid, or just, help out bottom,
or they just move
that lane
the
he's not
silencer top
from
or
it. Should have
something like
abandoned
that. They just move maybe the silencer or the Wyvern top. Wyvern, I think, maybe needs to stay mid, but really silencer does not need to be bottom anymore. There's no way this Clockwork can feel safe up around Tiger Rock now. Doesn't really have the solo kill potential either that normally you see when there's a Clockwork up against a melee core. So it's could be an issue for him here as well. And he's just gonna run home. Gonna look to probably just cogs this creep wave coming up here. Is Tiny going for his stacks now?
Yeah.
He's gonna get healed up as the flare. Oh, wrong camp. Doesn't secure any CS, and Tiny gonna go for the toss yet again. Bottle up. Only to 2 points in Avalanche, though. They have spotted it, and this is what I was kind of saying. If they picked a Shadow Fiend, they've got heroes that can contest these stacks here, but it looks like they're not even going to do so here. The nice thing is that they can now rotate Phoenix to the mid lane, give her a little bit of EXP. But Tiny just going to run right back.
Are they maybe going to give the stack to the Phoenix? I don't think he can take it.
No, I think he needs 4 points in a Fire Spirits if he wants to do so. Looks like he's probably going to go for a stack of his own. Maybe no. Just going to move towards the mid lane yet again as Kazor going to grab that bot rune.
Just look lost and confused.
Yeah, he really does, actually. He looks like he's actually going to try for the stack now. Or the Tiny's just going to help him out with it, and he's gonna share some of the EXP here, which is very important. But these Fire Spirits are just tickling right now.
Makes more sense. Yeah.
They don't want the Wyvern to be this close, though. There we go.
Getting pretty much nothing from that.
Gonna bottle up yet again.
There are some stacks here for the Razor. Not many, but enough.
I think, yeah, they just stacked them now, but yeah, he's gonna at least get a little bit.
Someone we haven't been talking about much, though, is this Ember Spirit here. He's doing incredibly well in the last hits, and he's got... What's he got coming to him? He's got Boots of Travel on the way already. This is going to be 9-minute Boots of Travel, which is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, that is pretty
strong. 70 last hits.
And Aquila as well.
Jungle creeps as well, you know, so it's not just mental.
So that's pretty huge.
Mental.
That is very huge. He doesn't really have too much like farm potential just yet, but even just with the 4 points into the Flame Guard and 4 points into Chains very soon, he does have a lot of kill potential, and the Boots of Travel means that he can jump into these team fights when you really don't expect him to. So Ember Spirit having a really good time here, and this is the same guy that was playing the Slark last game that, although he was pressured, he still found a ton of CS, so it'll be nice to see him on somebody that gets a little bit more free farm compared to last game.
Yeah, really shown what he can do, and I'm impressed. I'm very, very impressed. This is good, but I was told to look out for this exclamation mark character, and it's basically a carry versus carry showdown with the Ursa on Tiger Rock.
Yeah.
7K pub star.
Yeah, I think exclamation marks. I think the 6K
This is gonna be a good one to watch.
But yeah, oh, there's the blink toss in on the mid lane. They have the avalanche as well. Clockwork's gonna go down. And Clockwork's not even level 6. He doesn't even have a hook to pressure the map. Poe, barely going to live off that one as well. And now Ursa's got his blink. He's just going to jump in, pops his ultimate, Cat's going to bounce around. And now he's getting a lot of his damage stolen. There's the Avatos on 2, and look at that. Oh my gosh, that damage is absolutely massive right now. Wyvern's going to go down across the map here in the top lane, but that was huge.
Such ballsy plays, oh my god, just right under that tower, and like...
We might actually get the Tusk here as well, so low right now, oh the Razor!
Bit of a misplay here, oh maybe not!
Oh, that was huge.
My bad.
That was huge. Wow. The Razor really wanted that one. Gonna get himself a nice 336 gold there. And Ursa, we kind of saw, he's got the blink phase, but really... That Razor just kind of chewed through.
Clockwork and Phoenix are the same level now.
No way. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Those kills, so important. And Clockwork's actually going to go down to the Ursa yet again.
Clockwork dies again. Without his 6. Oh, look at that. He's so close.
Yeah, he's so close to 6, and he can't pressure the map. They still know he's only level 5. They can be so careful now as well. And Shard's going to be thrown out mid lane. Razor trying to grab some jungle farm here, but it seems like right now Bend Over is... They were kind of behind, but now they're looking to be in the lead right now. They're about 1,000 in terms of net worth. EXP K4 actually in the lead by about 1,500 as Ember Spirit in the top lane. Doing some good work here.
There's 100 CS. Just very casual.
Yeah. Casual 100 CS on the Ember Spirit here. Are they going to look to gank him? Because they do kind of have to be looking at him and say, you know, this guy's getting a little bit scary. He killed our Winter Wyvern. He's got Boots of Travel as well as a Void Stone. He's getting pretty close to a scary opponent right now. Yeah, here it is. But he's going to have a Remnant out. Oh, the Global, though. I didn't even think about that one. And look at the damage. The Avatos. There's the Silencer showing off his early level 6. I want to say early, but it's 12 minutes in. It's actually level 7 now. But that's what happens when you afford the Silencer. A lot of EXP solo bot lane. Clockwork, he is level 6 now as well. And he's going to be looking for the hook. There it is onto the Silencer. He is going to throw out the cogs as well as the battery assault. Creeps tanking all of this battery assault, though. There's the Shard snowball in. Very famous. Going to go down, though. And the Razor pinging out. There's the Tiny. He's going to jump in. Avatos. Going to be able to get a kill on the Clockwork. Has to be careful now, though, as the Razor's going to rotate in here a little bit. Slowed down. Long TP, though, and a wasted TP from this Razor as well. As a Razor, you need to be as efficient as possible, and unfortunately, he's actually maybe going to be able to get something here. Wyvern's still nearby, though, and
he doesn't care.
Ember Spirit's here as well. So they rotate 2 of their cores to this bot lane. And
he sees the stacks.
Oh, yeah, going to be able to get a stack there, which is important. Only 1, though. They don't have 2, thankfully enough. K4 going to find themselves a nice little pickup there on both the Ember Spirit and the Razor. They're going to be a little bit scared, though. Going to back out after that one. Tiny going to return home, bottle up, and look to get another kill. It's our Ursa. What are we going to see next?
He was very, very scared there, the Ember.
Yeah, I think they didn't have the vision. They saw that Tiny was missing. The Ursa was in the top jungle as well. He didn't show in lane yet, so maybe they were just a little bit afraid of that.
Yeah.
To have another 30 seconds for Global, and I imagine that's when they're going to look to get another kill on perhaps the Ember, maybe even the Razor. They might want to slow him down at least a little bit. So it looks like a smoke up now.
It's really good to see how they play around this silencer though, like, you know, like you say, just waiting for the cooldown for the ult and then just going for it. And Ember, you know, he's a very easy catch when you got a silencer on your team.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, especially when you go for the boots of travel builds, like you want to be pushing out the lanes, you want to be quite, you know, in ballsy positions, and you can't do that when there's a silencer in the game.
K4, it seems like they actually sniffed out the smoke top lane, and the flare actually shows them all right when the smoke wears off. And the Ember Spirit with his boots of travel just gonna say all right.
Sense there.
Razor with the Treads Bracer, so gonna be going in for the drums, and I'm not sure it's gonna be. He's got a lot of HP outside of the Ursa. I'm not sure they've got the damage to kill this Razor as Ember Spirit gonna look to cut the creep wave. TP bot from this Wyvern as the Ember Spirit yet again. We see him getting a little bit scared. Gonna move into the jungle here. It's only a Wyvern bot lane. They don't have eyes on the Ursa. Maybe afraid of the Winter's Curse into the Ursa just blinking on him, but I think he could play a little bit more risky. But when you have 115 CS this early on, there's no point, as you've already got quite a good lead. You don't have to try and eke out every bit of CS possible. It's top lane. We see Razor as well as Tuskar rotating up. Phoenix does have the Supernova as well. And it seems like they're
being sneaky in the trees.
Yeah, they are. The silencer nearby as well. Has the global if he wants to use it. Actually going to start things off here as Poe. There's the blanket from the Ursa. Snowball. Not even going to bring him in under that. Won't be able to save him. Are we going to have the Supernova? There it is. Looks like maybe they're going to be able to get the Supernova as the Ember Spirit just right-clicking it down. No, it's actually going to pop. There's the hook. Only going to hit his teammate, though. And now Phoenix going to dive back in yet again looking for the Spirits. Not going to be able to get them. And he's going to go down. And my God, I can't believe they actually end up losing one and not getting a single kill there.
That was a very strange fight from Bend Over there.
Oh, the Avatos! Ember, is he actually going to die? He does!
Didn't follow up, but now comes the counter-initiate.
Oh, the Shard's actually pushing the Ursa out. There's the Winter's Curse now on Sean. Not going to matter, though, as it's only a Witch Doctor around. And they'll just back out, though. Toss. Avatos combo. He does have it. Going to toss him back, actually. No mana for Avalanche just yet. And now Razor's going to TP in. He's just going to dip out on this Tiny. A little bit scared of the static link potential he's got here.
They lost the Phoenix, but afterwards they managed to get 2 more kills on the back of that, which is quite impressive. So Bend Over managing to salvage what was at first a very not good situation, but
for sure,
trying to make it favorable for them, and I think that's what they've been going. And actually, you know, notice this Phoenix, he's going for a catch-up Midas.
He is, yeah. I was just looking at that. Which,
yeah, very interesting, but I think that's a good decision.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty good decision. Going to come online around maybe the 19-minute, not even. He's got 1,000, so probably somewhere around the 18-minute mark should have that. As Tiny looking for the mid lane gank, as we are going to have a TP in here as well from the Clockwork. There's the Avatos combo. Not enough to get the kill. We'll just blink out after that. 7% HP on that Tuskar. Shams is going to point out Clockwork now. Maybe looking for the hook. Oh, Tiny. Is he actually going to be able to get this kill? He sees him. Just needs to blink up. Is he going to get it? The snowball. Waiting for it, and he's just going to throw out the Avalanche. After that, maybe Avalanche going to get the kill, and now it looks like he's probably going to trade his life for it.
The Avalanche
tosses out the Clockwork, but Witch Doctor going to be the one to get the killing spree there. 541 gold. And if we take a look, surprisingly enough, Bend Over at about the 3.5k net worth lead here. And about 1,500 EXP, so even though this Ember Spirit is just so farmed right now, it's not enough to keep his team in. And look at that, just about 18 minutes in, we see the Wyvern, or excuse me, the oh my God, can't even think of the name right now. Where's this Midas here? There it is, Phoenix with the Midas. There we go. Finally, the Phoenix getting the Midas in about 18 minutes. Whew, too many bird heroes. Ursa with a
yeah,
DD
the
now.
thing about Ember is that he can farm good, but when he gets a good start, you know, someone like Anti-Mage, for example, just absolutely goes berserk when you get that start. You know, going, especially when you go Boots of Travel, yeah, you got good mobility and you can always find the farm, but in terms of actually securing it, you know, you got to use your moves, and that means you got to be heading back to base a lot. You know, you got long bits of downtime in between when you're farming and when you're not.
And it seems like both teams smoked up right now.
Maybe if he'd gone for the Battle Fury first. Yeah, they're gonna meet just.
Oh, looks like they're gonna start on the Razor. There it is. Avatos cast gonna go out. Global Silence though, and this is huge. They've got no abilities. The Winter's Curse. Witch Doctor are gonna get eaten alive by the Ursa, as it looks like now Supernova. Ember Spirit's in a whole lot of trouble. He's gonna go down, double killing and unstoppable for the Ursa here. As the Razor, not sure why he's still chasing. He's gotta be so careful. Tiger Rock with the blink, and now the Razor's gonna go down here as well. BO just playing so well around this global. They smoke up, they wait for the global, and they go for the ganks. Totally. And it's perfect. Now they're gonna get a Roshan here as well.
So good.
It is so simple. It really is. Oh, maybe.
They're gonna
we are gonna have a TP in.
And maybe.
This Ursa has his ultimate. Oh, are they gonna go in right now?
Hello.
There's the Cold Embrace, keeping him alive a little bit longer. Clockwork thinking about maybe hooking in. They've got the Death Ward off cooldown still, and now
they got the
Ember Spirit, one more second. Oh, he's so low right now. There's the Death Ward. It looks like they'll get the Ursa. And that's going to be about it. No, there's the Avatos now to the Witch Doctor. Ember Spirit going to show in. And looks like Tiny going to get hooked. Actually, going to go down here as well. The Ember Spirit should be able to get the kill. Toss back over here onto the Tuskar. Cold Embrace keeping him alive a little bit longer. And it's doing quite a bit, but they don't have anything to help him out, really. Tiny's going to go down. The Avalanche actually going to get the kill.
Oh, my God.
Oh, wow.
The Avalanche.
A nice exit kill to make it a 2-for-2 trade.
Time to get the cooldowns.
And that was pretty important here as well. They won't get the Roshan. 143 at 20 minutes by Envy. What do we have here? 135. That's not bad.
Yeah, 135, but with 3 deaths. You gotta remember.
That's true.
That's really, really good. That's really good.
And he's getting close to that completed Battle Fury. Would definitely have it if he hadn't have died 3 times, or even just if he hadn't have died that last time. Ursa?
That's a shame, but he's got to be fighting.
Yeah, that's true.
When his team decides to go for it, they need that damage.
Yeah, they really do. The Flame Guard, the chains are just so important.
Time, but what's this with him
getting caught out here. They are going to throw out.
And he's got the sports behind him.
Yeah, Peglo actually going to go down. Tiny's even going to walk in on this one.
Go down.
Ooh, there's the Avatos damage. Goodbye. And now this is going to be the Roshan. They can't contest this one. 2 heroes down for 30 seconds. And sure, they can ping it out all they want. Unless the Ember Spirit goes for a steal, maybe? But the Basher now on the Ursa. Flare going to go out, and Ursa's not really taking all that much regen. Here we go. There it is. Ulti going to be used. Whole lot of damage now as well. And the Clockwork thinking about hooking in. Oh, he's actually going to hook in. Ursa's nowhere near completing Roshan. He's going to get the Aegis. Not the play you want there. Gonna lose a kill as well as 2 intelligence going the way of the Silencer, and you can appreciate the thought behind it, but the execution unfortunately not there.
You can't blame a dude for trying.
No, you really can't. You really can't. I would have liked to see the Ember go for it though.
I mean,
you can throw a spear in and out of the pit.
You know, there's not that much on the line.
True, he is a fairly low level Clockwork.
So like, it's okay to go for these flashy plays. You know, they're in the tournament regardless, so might as well make the most of it.
I think though, the big thing here is this Clockwork has seemed really underwhelming in his team fight, and he hasn't been able to get any solo pickoffs really. He got a late hook timing, like late level 6, and he's really underwhelming. He wants the Blade Mail up against the Ursa, but by the time he gets the Blade Mail, I imagine the Ursa's going to be looking at a BKB or just really enough HP to not really care about it. And this Clockwork, just a very underwhelming pick.
Even if
here.
the Clockwork got a Blade Mail right now, wouldn't matter. The way Bend Over are playing, it's just very they're staying together an awful lot, and they're just not giving the Clockwork the opportunities to get anything really. And even if you got the blade player male right now, you know, they're always like multiple sources of damage coming in on whoever they decide to focus. And
Tuskar's gonna go down here mid lane.
Very, very good. And making the mistake of throwing the ice shards rather than snowballing.
Yeah, they went for the same play as well. They had global silence off cooldown, and they smoke up immediately as Ursa is looking for the Sage and Yasha here, I think.
Yeah, yeah. That's
gonna give him some nice
quite
mobility.
Good for him. Their movement's been just being able to melt people.
Yeah, for sure. He doesn't need the damage, so stat items not bad whatsoever here. So now, Tiger Rock, maybe waiting for somebody to go towards the secret shop or to try and def the mid tower, but they're probably just going to give it up. Ember Spirit as well as Witch Doctor are going to look to split push around the bot lane as Tiny. We haven't really looked at his items lately, but look at that. He's got an Aghanim Scepter now as well, and the carry potential for the Tiny is definitely a scary idea. Ursa going to blink up, and he's looking for the Ember Spirit here.
Them stacks really helped him out.
Yeah, they definitely did. The Wyvern dual lane mid really, really paying off.
You know, compare him to the Razor. You know, the Razor's got, like, you know, he's got the Sange, the Drum of Endurance, but you know, it's just nowhere near what the Tiny has. In fact, if we look at the net worth,
Ursa gonna get snowballed up. Avalanche to follow, and Tuskar, wrong place, wrong time yet again. He's gonna go down and
just disappears.
Yeah, with the Tiny as well. They've got to be so careful because he's just gonna eat through these towers. I mean, it's already at half HP. It's not gonna take much for him to destroy this tower.
I just get the feeling that Known 4 are just quite afraid this game. You know, they had the draft where they needed to go for the picks, they needed to get some kills, and you know, when you compare the Razor to the Tiny, you know, the Tiny's just been walking into fights very casually, hitting people, getting off its moves. You know, the Razor, he just tends to skirt around the edges, never really committing to anything, and I think that's, you know, Known 4 are very much the scared boyfriend, very scared of commitment right now.
Yeah,
you know, not willing to put themselves out there.
Yeah, and
they need to.
I think a lot of that as well is due to the fact that they're down game 2. They say, you know what, guys, we've got farm on our Ember. Let's just keep farming. Let's try not to fight. You know, they draft these heroes that are good at fighting, but they haven't really been able to do much with it. And a lot of that's the global silence as well as the play from Bend Over. So I don't want to, you know, take anything away from them and say that K4 is just playing poorly, but it seems like their draft worked out a little bit too good early on, and then they weren't really sure what to do with it. You know, they had these early levels on the clock. The Phoenix was level 1. The Ember Spirit had 100 CS, and from there they just didn't convert off of it.
And because of that, now the Ursa has got a higher net worth than the Ember. You know, I think it's a case of Bend Over just play so well that you need to go all in for everything when you come against them, or well, that's it. That's your only option. You need to decide on the strategy and nail it. You know, you can't let a couple of kills make you go, oh, okay, we'll just, you know, stop fighting and, you know, wait for them to slip up, because they won't. They're not going to do that.
No,
at least not from what I've seen of them anyway.
Exactly, and I think one thing that really sticks out is actually that bot lane gank when the Tuskar rotated bottom, and they tried to get a kill on the Ursa. They instead give up, I believe it was First Blood at the time, and they give up a kill to the Ursa. So the Clockwork would have just been fine sitting there with his levels, and he was doing fairly well in lane, and he started taking some damage to try and entice the Ursa to come in, and he eventually does, but he ends up getting, you know, 2 kills along the board there, and I think that was a little bit of a misplay. They were getting a little bit too giddy with this roaming Tuskar, and now the roaming Tusk in general, he doesn't really have anything himself. The Phoenix with that Midas is now just getting stronger and stronger, looking to finish up a Shiva's, and I don't know if they have too much to deal with a Shiva's Phoenix.
Yeah, what a recovery from this guy as well. Like, the Midas just so worth it, and just getting that big Shiva's, you know, 30 minutes is a good time for any Phoenix, never mind someone who is level 1 by like 6 minutes or something.
Yeah, for sure. And this Razor, he's not doing too bad, but you know, it's not often you see a Razor that really has high impact, you know, unless it's, you know, you're watching Team Liquid play and it's Fada. So we're going to have a global silence here. It looks like Ursa does manage to find the Ember Spirit top lane, but I don't know, it really feels like this Razor's just been in the jungle all game and very underwhelming. They haven't tried to push with him, you know, he hasn't built a mechanism or hasn't really gotten an early SNY in general. I mean, it's finished now, but so far behind this Ursa right now. And this Tiny. taking a look at the graphs right now. Look at this. Bend over. Upwards of 10K EXP. And net worth telling the exact same story. Clockwork, I don't know, trying to go up against this DD Tiny. And he's got to be careful now. Shards to go out. They're trying to find him. Hook on the creep wave. And it seems like they're just falling apart. Now Silencer rotating into the backside. And look at this. Tiny. He could probably just one-hit him. But blinks out. A little bit afraid of the cask there, oddly enough. Phoenix gonna rotate in. There's the Shivas. Is he gonna use the ultimate? Will use the ultimate. The snowball. Wrong place, wrong time. He's trying to buy them some time, but instead it just means Supernova's gonna get off, and there it is. Will manage to stun up and get an easy kill on the Clockwork. Pickle actually gonna die to the Spirits. A nice play from Poe there.
Wow.
And I imagine we'll be seeing those two letters are gonna be somewhere around the chat very, very soon.
Motherfucker got drop.
Look at that, 6.4% of the games.
The Ember Spirit's alive, but I think...
at this point, they really just don't have the damage. And the Ember Spirit, because he's got to play so safe, he's forced to get a Blink Dagger. And he's only got a Battle Fury. How do you... I mean, sure, the thing is he's got a lot of chip damage, but when you've got a hero like Wyvern, what's it matter? It really was. I think his decision-making was... There's a global silence. If they global, I need to blink out because I won't be able to get Remnant off. But at that point, it's too late.
True. I think they're only...
Oh, that was so close. Snowball in, hook up on an Ursa, though. And I don't know if they want to be here. There's the Winter's Curse turnaround. Wow, that's a lot of damage right now. The leap in over here from the Phoenix as well. There's the Sunray keeping him alive a little bit longer. Look at the sustained Death Wards being channeled, though. Poe might actually go down, tries to TP out. Hamada's going to find himself dead as well, and they save their cores. They trade at least one offlaner and a support for, well, pretty much the same thing. Fight recap is going to show us that they come out ahead at about 1800. Oh, global. Barely too late on that global silence. That was close. That was very close to the Ursa getting a pick off on that Ember Spirit there.
That was quite good for them, you know.
That
was quite good for Known 4, you know.
It buys them a little bit of time.
It just makes it...
And that's really important for them. It buys them the time. Most importantly, though, they need to be able to prevent Bend Over from getting this next Roshan, because with that Roshan they'll just throw it on the Ursa or the Tiny. It honestly doesn't matter because they're both fantastic at initiating, and from there they don't have the damage to kill either one of them twice. But it looks like they are going to smoke up. They know Global Silence is off cooldown, and this is the best time to do it. Silencer could be the one to get caught out. He's actually hasted.
For a Manta as well to try and break out of the silence.
Now they're going to try to go on the Razor, but look at this, snowball in. Actually going to jump through onto three of them. The Silencer's going to get stunned up. Hamadi's in a wrong place, wrong time. Very Famous is going to go down to the Razor, but look at this. The Ursa's just going to turn around. There's the ultimate from the Phoenix as well. The Ursa's taking no damage. The Death Ward channel doing nothing. Dash, is he going to die? There's the stun up onto two. Tiny's coming in from the backside as well. There's the Avatar's combo. Even going to hit the Ember Spirit, but that one... And now Sean barely getting alive on this one, but he's got the blink up on the Tiny again. He should be able to get this kill. There's the toss. Oh, so low right now. The battery is salty. Avalanche. No. The chains. Woo. That was close, but they still lose 3 after smoking up. Sure, they get the supports, but doesn't even matter. AC now completed on Tiny, and this is a rock you don't want to mess with.
And there's a Roshan who's just respawned and ready to be eaten.
Can they? I'm not sure if they can take this Roche though. Is everybody? The Razor does have buyback. I'm not sure if they know it. Well, definitely not if the Ursa's on the cliff. They are just gonna toss him back down though. And now looks like they're thinking about going for it, and this is a little bit scary.
He'll do it very fast.
He will do it quickly, but they've got the hook up. The Ember Spirit's on the outside. He's gonna blink up on the high ground. He's got the chains, and this is a very tense situation. Razor up in 5 seconds. I think Radiant. I don't know if they want to take this. They've still got the hook on Clockwork. There's the Remnant in as well. There's the hook up. Who's going to get the Aegis? Nobody's got it yet. Ursa's going to take it. There's the Winter's Curse as well. The blink up now. They'll be able to kill the Ember. Maybe. Yes, he comes back to the pit. And that's the last Spirit you dropped. 68 seconds with no Ember. And this is going to be the last push. Just kills the Tuskar as well. GG, well played. And all it takes is 2 games. So there we go. Bend Over has qualified for the Dubai Championship coming up, so GG well played to them, and they take a very convincing 2 games in this best of 3 series.
Yep, both teams make it through to the tournament, but this will affect their seedings, who they're gonna be playing, and how tough it's gonna be to get it to the top. So it makes it a little bit more difficult for Known 4, but definitely an incredible performance in both games from Bendover, really showing versatility and strength and a sudden technical perfection.
Yeah, great drafts from them as well.
Really
really great drafts. The silencer, if anybody watches this, I would think about respect banning that, because he plays it well. They give him the space he needs, and really just played well this game. 5-3-12 on a support silencer.
Yeah, but just like really working around the ultimate well, like using them heroes like the Ursa and the Phoenix and stuff, and using the silencer ulti to just be able to go for those pickoffs safely without fear of it being turned around on their heads. Even if everybody's waiting on the trees, if they're silenced, then they can't do anything about it. And that's so simple. Like I say, so simple but so effective. GG, well played for sure.
For sure, man. Thanks for joining me.
Peanuts Almighty.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but I'm gonna go watch the summit because I'm pretty hyped for that one. But Peanut Almighty, everybody. Do you have a YouTube, Twitter, anything you wanna plug right now? You got the time?
Yeah, just Peanut Almighty on Twitter.
All right. Well, sounds good, buddy. Thanks again for joining me, and have a good one.